Daniel Childs here from the Son of Chelsea YouTube and podcast to give you my thoughts from a Chelsea perspective ahead of Monday night's clash at Selhurst Park in the Premier League. In terms of the mood, it was terrible after the Wolves defeat, but then that unexpected and shock performance and win at Villa Park in the FA Cup in midweek was astonishing. It really was. The best performance I have seen from Chelsea, not only this season under Mauricio Pochettino, but the best performance I've seen from Chelsea since away at Madrid in 2022. And that was when Thomas Tuchel was still head coach. So a very long time. Maybe a corner has been turned, but we have thought that before this season. But at the very least, it's given Chelsea fans a lot more belief and expectation heading into Monday's game. There is some people who feel that Pochettino should be sacked, but most of those, even if you do believe as a Chelsea fan Pochettino should be replaced, do look above him. You do look at the sporting directors, their judgment, who appointed him, the ownership. If Pochettino was sacked anytime soon, you've got to think about their track record of sacking Thomas Tuchel very early on into last season, a very popular manager, not giving Graham Potter a lot of time, sacking him, having an interim as Frank Lampard that didn't go well, and then Pochettino. So there is a lot of questions going above him, and I think there maybe is an understanding and appreciation that problems have been self-inflicted by the current ownership and to give a bit more time. But given what the nature was post-Wolves, it could turn toxic again and more sort of directed at Pochettino if, say, Chelsea lost on Monday. But I don't think it's to the same extent as Roy Hodgson, where I think maybe Crystal Palace fans are thinking more squarely at the head coach. I think Chelsea's aims is European football. It's European qualification. I think that's what will keep Pochettino in his job. I think that's what will give the club financially and also just for fans to feel like there is an improvement on last year. And there are two opportunities through cup competitions in the FA Cup and of course the Carabao Cup final at the end of this month. I still think, despite Chelsea's woes this season, there is a realistic route into Europe, even through the Conference League. The gap between us and those places isn't insane, and Chelsea found out when they did couple some wins together at the back end of 2023 and at the start of this year, how quickly you can go up the table. So I'd like to think Chelsea can find that form, maybe find that conviction, and find themselves not only 10th or 9th, but in a European place. I think that's the big ambition. A 2-0 win for Chelsea. I think if Pochettino goes with a similar team that faced Aston Villa, I do think there is a lot of confidence and quality within that lineup to hurt Crystal Palace. And I think the big difference maker for me is no Michael Olise, who scored against Chelsea last time, no Eze, who's an incredible player, and no Mark Guehi from a defensive point of view, who I think makes such a difference. So I could see Chelsea winning this, even if they will be trying to break down probably a quite deep defensive Hodgson back four.